crazy opening weekend. It's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Dallas Cowboys. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
On the set.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Second down, back to Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They wind up losing a couple there, so they go behind the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and 11 coming up.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11.
Ready.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Over the middle, complete. That's counter. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. The Dolphins will send out the punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. They start on the ground with Elliott. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. This defense for the Dolphins, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Again, it's Elliott. And he'll get a couple up to the 29. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. Pass complete to Jalen Tolbert. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 13 yards and a 1st down, Cowboys.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And he's got some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 40 yards rushing so far, and this is just their first possession. They've got a new set of downs here.
You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think we got to give it up for him right there. That's a heck of an athletic move for a big man right in the middle of the line. How about the play he makes there? Nowhere to run, and he finishes that one off for a loss.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Up the middle, here's Elliott. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. We're going to take this to about the 10-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Prescott now. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Jalen Tolbert, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys are on the board first here this afternoon. Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A give running left, it's Sanders. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race, but how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. He's got a man, complete. It's a big play there for Miami, and even 40 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. And the slot man goes in motion left. After 7-0 on EA Sports. Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And he wisely will throw that one away.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Tua. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 18. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Coverage was excellent downfield. I think he was more throwing that football away than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely, because everywhere you looked, they were covered.
Sometimes it's better to go ahead and be convinced that there's no place to fit in the football than to go ahead and force it and turn it into a bad play.
Play action, now it's Tua. And he wisely will throw that one away.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The kick by Sanders is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense right now.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted.
And the Dolphins are going to take possession of the football. And that's a ball that he is going to want to keep, his first career interception in the National Football League.
And I love what teams do when that happens. You bring the ball to the sideline, the equipment guy grabs it, he puts a piece of tape on it, writes on it so that you know what it is, and then they tuck it away so that you can have it for later and put it on your mantle. Pretty good deal for him right there. Now he's eager to get back out on the field and get his second one.
Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. 23 yards on the play. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
Yeah, he did. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. One of the tight ends comes in motion. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else he'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
On 2nd and goal, Tua. And this is going to be intercepted. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
A turnover's obviously, Charles, always costly, but man, when you throw those interceptions in the end zone like that, it really stings.
He tried to fit that one into his tight end, and I often use the expression NFL open, which means a tighter window. Down near the goal line, you really want him to be open. In this case, it cost him.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
The defense thought they had that play covered, but it still got driven backward by those blockers. Those types of plays are a key part of any team's offensive game plan. It all starts up front in the trenches.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. And they'll send the slot in motion left. From the 24, Prescott.
This throw left side is caught by Tolbert.
And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45.
A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. On 2nd and 9, Prescott. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ferguson. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted.
Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Dolphins are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Well, that one was in the air for an agonizingly long time.
Just begging to be picked off, wasn't it? It's one thing if you're throwing a ball like that, trying to throw someone open or lead them into an area. But that ball needed to be thrown with a lot more conviction. As a result, it's an easy interception.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Eluding the pressure right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
In motion, Hill. Tua to try again on second down. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to third down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. And that will be incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and they will take over 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now Prescott. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Prescott off play action. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Continued struggles here in the second quarter, and to me, you can pin a lot of them on an inability to convert third downs. And that most recent incompletion to the list of examples.
On to punt now, Anger as he boots this one away. Here's Hill on the return. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Dolphin football.
At their own 38-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. And some room to work. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past.
Oh, looking for Waddle, but it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. They exited the pocket trying to improvise. That was a tough throw, and unfortunately, it wound up in the wrong pair of hands.
And Brandon, when you're on the run, sometimes your downfield vision could get skewed just a bit. Now, the beauty of it,
pressure comes, and down he goes. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run.
It'll be a gain of about 5, but they're left with a third and still about 12 to go.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down.
One more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the first down.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front.
As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3.
This will be fielded inside the 5.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Lone Star State and the very mammoth AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2.